The information on the NCAA, the Big Ten, and Jim Harbaugh has been flowing in. We're filming this Sunday morning, going to publish it Sunday afternoon. But I expect a ton more information to come out, although I don't think we're going to do another YouTube video. Going to make you the same deal we made you on Thursday. I'm going to put out a 3, 4, 5 minute video tonight on our Instagram account. I made it private because I don't want this information to go all over the internet. What is going on with Michigan, with Jim Harbaugh, the Big Ten, Harbaugh's future? Make sure you follow us on Instagram. It's at Michigan Football Report. I'll accept everybody who requests us by, maybe like 5, 6 o'clock on Sunday. Then we'll put out an Instagram-only insider video on what's the latest in the Harbaugh situation, Conor Stalions, all that. Follow us on Instagram at Michigan Football Report. I'll also put a link down in the comments and the description. And this is Overreaction Sunday. Going to take a deep dive into what everyone's talking about this Michigan football program, which is presented by Manscaped, the new Lawnmower 5.0. It's amazing. I'll tell you how to get 20% off and free shipping a little later in the show. It is the Michigan Football Report. We got a lot to talk about. Let's get into it right now. I'll tell you what, getting back in the field last night to watch this team just felt such like a nice relief from everything we've been dealing with the last 2 weeks. That Conor Stalions story broke going to the Michigan State game. Boom, 49-0. But then it's been 2 weeks of nonstop negative news around this Michigan football program. And I was excited to see them back on the field, coming out hot, getting to start a 17-0 first quarter lead. Although they didn't keep the pedal to the metal the entire game, but nevertheless, I think the one thing to come out of this game that I think is super important, my number one overreaction for Michigan Purdue last night is Conor Stalions, who the Michigan football super fan who was the entire reason that Michigan has completely dominated the Big Ten for the last 3 years, according to the haters, according to the national media, the fake news media, the guys you can't trust. They say it's all Conor Stalions. He's the only reason that Michigan has had any success. And I think the last couple of weeks, right, Michigan clearly has not been stealing signs. Michigan State, Purdue, they won those games combined 90-13, I guess it is, right? And I think this Conor Stalions story is going to get less and less important. It's all going to be about what Jim Harbaugh and assistant coaches knew, and Conor Stalions will just be a cocktail party joke going forward in the future. Now, this story with Conor Stalions, he's no longer part of the program, but I just do want to emphasize going into the Penn State game, Maryland, Ohio State, these Michigan football players know that a lot of people around the country are doubting them, think that the only reason that they had any success is because of stolen signs, but now it gets real, right? Michigan, Purdue, a matchup of what could be, after the CFP rankings come out on Tuesday night, could be a matchup of top 10 teams. Michigan's got to go on the road to Happy Valley, a team that just went on the road themselves yesterday and crushed the Josh Gaddis Maryland team 51-15. Drew Aller finally had a good game after a crap last month or so. He went 25 of 34, 240 yards, but 4 touchdowns is the big story. They got the ball, things rolling on the ground again. And even though they gave up some yardage to a pass-happy Maryland team, it was all, junk yards for Maryland, for Taulia Tagovailoa, for Josh Gaddis, and that Maryland offense. Maryland gets blown out by Penn State, the teams that Michigan's going to face the next 2 weeks, 51-15. So I think that Maryland, Penn State shook off some of that rust against Ohio State from 2 weeks ago. Now they're showing what we thought they were going to be earlier in the season. And even though Michigan's favored by almost a touchdown, it's a 6.5-point spread, I want you guys to go down in the comments and let me know your score predictions. I'm going to give mine out on like Wednesday or Thursday. I want to watch a little more Big Ten and 60 on Penn State. When I watch this game versus Maryland, I want to make sure I go back to watch some of their other games, a couple common opponents, see what I'm feeling about. But what's your early reaction? 6 days to this game happening, Michigan, Penn State. Predict the score of this potential top 10 matchup coming up on Saturday afternoon. Is Michigan the nation's best team? Look, I've watched Ohio State, Georgia, Florida State. I saw Washington last night give up 40-plus points to a fairly mediocre USC team, have to put up 50 themselves to win that game. They almost lost to Arizona. They almost lost to who? Stanford, right? Washington did. Florida State's gone to overtime with a mediocre Clemson team, almost lost to Boston College. I think Michigan is the best team in the country. They've got 3 games to prove it, right, in the regular season at least. Maybe get that number 1 seed, secure a berth in Pasadena for the Rose Bowl, beat Penn State. Then you're going to probably jump up. I believe Michigan beats Penn State soundly. I don't want to say soundly like they have to blow them out, but I'm saying by 7 to 10 points. It's not a fluke or anything like that. Michigan next Tuesday will be the number one team in college football. They'll jump over Georgia, who I think, based on what happened to Ohio State, Rutgers yesterday, Georgia gets their first, I think it is, top 15 win over Missouri, and the fact that Clemson beat Notre Dame, which kind of takes a little bit of the shine off of that Ohio State win at Notre Dame. I think Georgia will be number one on Tuesday, and Michigan a week from now will be the number one team in the country. The number one thing in my bathroom, though, is the new Manscaped Lawnmower 5.0 that just launched. Today's show is brought to you by Manscaped. You can get 20% off and free shipping using promo code GOBLUE, no spaces. That's promo code GOBLUE at Manscaped.com. Introducing the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, featuring a new cutting-edge design and next-generation dual skin-safe blade heads for different shaves. It's pretty much a spaceship to take your boys downstairs to the next level. I've been one of the lucky ones, first few to get the new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, and I want to say it's a game changer, and that might be an understatement. Manscaped's 5th generation trimmer features 2 next-gen interchangeable skin-safe blade heads, a standard trimmer blade for taking off a little off the top, and a new foil blade to go for that smooth finish wherever your heart desires. Join the 9 million, that's right, 9 million men who trust Manscaped with the new, brand new Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with code GOBLUE. That's GOBLUE, promo code GOBLUE. Use it, get you 20% off. Get your free shipping. My entire bathroom is filled with Manscapes. I got the deodorant. I got the hair. I got the body wash. I have the shaver for down low. Right, go down to the skin. Anything you want. They are the kings of the bathroom. This Manscaped Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra is absolutely amazing. Get one for yourself right now. Manscaped.com. Promo code GOBLUE. Link is down in the comments and the description of today's Michigan Football Report. Give me your one overreaction from yesterday's win, right? It doesn't have to be one word. We're just going overreaction. I've got a lot of them, right? If I'm going crazy, if I'm overreacting like crazy, I've got 5 of them talking about on the show, but one that I didn't really include, it's that I'm just not super confident that Blake Corum is back to 100%. I'm just going to tell you that at this point right now. I mean, we've seen 9 games in. That's my major one, but light up the comments. Let's get the comments rolling. The haters of these other teams, these cheater commenters, all that stuff, they've been hitting us up in the comments way too much. So Michigan fans, get down. Don't let me down here. At least comment on this one. What is your takeaways from last night's win? Next up, my third overreaction, 3 of 5, is the eyes on the Heisman for J.J. McCarthy, right? You had one of the 2 quarterbacks that are right up there with McCarthy, Jaden Daniels from LSU. He lost, but the other one, Michael Penix Jr., he got the win against USC, 52-42, although he didn't look great, right? Their running game, Washington, was probably what got them the win. They had a running back over 250 yards. McCarthy didn't put up the touchdowns. No touchdowns for J.J. McCarthy, but had his best passing yardage game as a Michigan quarterback in the regular season, only to be outed by, best by the TCU game when Michigan was just in pass mode from basically the end of the first quarter on, kind of come back from 2 and 3 scores down to TCU all game long. If Washington goes undefeated, if they win their next few games, get a rematch against Oregon in the Pac-12 title game, and go undefeated in the regular season, I think Michael Penix will win the Heisman because you have 2 12-0 quarterbacks, maybe 13-0 quarterbacks, right? Assuming that Michigan beats Ohio State, beats Penn State coming up on Saturday, and you'll compare them and say, okay, JJ's got his 2 signature wins. Penix got his signature win or 2, right? Against Oregon twice, USC, etc. Then let's now compare it to stats because their teams really, there's no differentiator through the teams. When it comes down to stats, Penix is going to outperform J.J. McCarthy, and that'll be that. But Penix got a few losable games. I think Washington is not nearly as good of a team as Michigan, and the likelihood that they go undefeated, I think, is less than Michigan at this point. So it's going to come down to which team goes undefeated and then which player performs the best. They still have Marvin Harrison Jr., etc., some other guys out there in this Heisman race, but we've got 3 weeks to prove it. Also, Big Ten, Pac-12 title game to see who is the best player in the country and is going to take home the 2023 Heisman Trophy. How about my guy, the Don, didn't make any bets with Preston, my son, about the Don. He kind of got his toys. He went heavy on some toys a couple weeks ago. Last week at Target, I think it was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago at Target, went and spent a little bit of money, and he's kind of forgot about the bets we were making on the Don scoring touchdowns every week. The Don, though, I think Michigan was making a very concerted effort, a very we're going to make this happen no matter what from the passing game. It seemed like yesterday, Donovan Edwards got more going in the passing game, went out deep a couple times, and Khalil Mullings has maybe taken that second running back spot. I'm not sure if they're just trying to get their best guys on the field with those three, Corum, Mullings, and Edwards, in addition to the wide receivers and tight ends, etc., or if this is trying to look forward to the future, to maybe even 2024. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I think you can make an argument right now that Donovan Edwards has been going down on his first hit for basically every single game this season that we've seen. And maybe Michigan thinks that his best way to contribute this season and beyond 2024 might be actually as a wide receiver instead of running back. But it was good to see the Don get a little play in the running game, but most importantly, get some action going in the passing game. Guys, if you want to keep the good vibes rolling, give me a like on today's video. We're going to talk more about the Don here in a second, but I did want to ask for a like on the video. Helps if you're a Michigan fan. Like the video, puts the video in the feeds on YouTube of more Michigan football fans, and less people, these Ohio State chumps, these Penn State fans, Notre Dame, etc., they're just searching Michigan football. They find us, and they just get in the comments and do bad things. So like it, more Michigan fans, less haters and losers. Donovan Edwards, 8 carries, 21 rushing yards. The Michigan rushing attack, nothing to call home to mom about right now. I don't think it's too spectacular at this point, but he did catch 3 passes, one a little bit deeper. One was more of a shovel pass. That was probably more of a run, but because it was shoveled in front of J.J. McCarthy, it counted as a pass. And the Don did get a touchdown. You know, it was one of these things inside the 1 yard line. He still struggled to score, but I digress. Donovan Edwards kind of back as far as it seems to be the play calling and the strategy of this Michigan football offense. And the last thing is, Jack, there's only one thing left to do at this point. The entire world's coming down on Michigan. The Big Ten's coming down on Michigan. The NCAA's coming down on Michigan. Jim Harbaugh, they're going to try and suspend him, it sounds like. There's only one thing left to do. Win the whole fucking thing, right? And that starts this week. I'm slamming desks. I'm pounding desks here. That starts this week. Everybody who said Michigan stole signs and the only reason Harbaugh's a good coach in college football anymore is because of Conor Stalions, and Michigan can't do this, Michigan can't do that. Prove to the world coming up on Saturday. Go into Happy Valley, just like you did 2 years ago, just like Jim Harbaugh did in his first year. Get that win against James Franklin, a major shit talker that I just kind of despise. Only thing he's got going good for him is the fact that he's got a great first name, but everything else on that with James Franklin, he is who he is. He never wins big games against top 5, top 10 teams, almost never, I should say. And we saw what that offense looked like against a strong defense that Ohio State seems to have a couple weeks back. Go make a statement, Michigan. Okay? You Michigan football players, whatever you think about the coaching staff, whatever you think about the Conor Stalions situation, support your coaches, support your teammates, play for each other. Don't worry about the fans. Don't worry about other teams, etc. Go in there. Think back to 1997. Michigan was number 4, went into Happy Valley, played number 1 Penn State. Everyone said Michigan was going to lose, and they absolutely kicked Penn State's ass, the likes of which I have never seen. I think the final score was like 38-6 or something like that, 38-7, whatever it was. That's the kind of vibes you got to bring into Happy Valley on Saturday. I'm so pumped up for this week. We are going to get nuts with it. I'll have a video for you every single week, including tonight on Instagram. So make sure you follow. It's at Michigan Football Report. We're back with a video every single day this week on YouTube. So I'll talk to you guys later. Go Blue.